G'day legends. Have you ever had just a basic chord progression? Maybe a simple song that's an acoustic guitar and a vocal, but you've wanted to know what these ideas could sound like if you built them up a little bit more, if you added some more layers to them. Well, I'm going to show you in this video a new feature that Moises AI has just released called AI Studio. It's basically an online DAW where you can upload your idea and the AI will listen to what you give it and then create stems based off of that. This is called context-aware stem generation. It's very cool because it's not just a prompt to generation and you just get whatever the AI gives you. It actually listens to your idea and then gives you accompanying parts that work with it. It's kind of like having a virtual bandmate who offers you some ideas.
If all we have is now, come and waste some time, waste your time with me. Nobody gets you like I do.
I've got an idea, an acoustic guitar and a vocal. It's just a verse and a chorus, and I'm going to show you how we can build this song up and get some extra ideas going. And if you find this interesting and you want to try it out for yourself, head over to Moises AI, use the link in the description below. You can set up a free account, give it a try and see what you think. AI Studio is only available on the web and desktop apps, but the mobile and iPad apps have a stem generation option available. So once you're logged into your account and you clicked on the AI Studio tab on the side here, we basically just need to come over here and click on New Project. So I'm going to drag in my demo, and this is what it sounds like at the moment.
I can taste the words on your lips. They're trying to get out. Got so many things you need to share with me, but don't know how.
But if you don't have any ideas recorded yet, you can do it right here in AI Studio. You can come up here and select your input. At the moment, it's on my phone's microphone. But if you go to interface, you can just change the source to your interface. I could come up here and I could change it to my SSL 18 and I could record directly into AI Studio. You can set the BPM up here. So what we need to do is hit AI Auto Detect. If you know the BPM, you can just input it, but it doesn't hurt to do the AI Auto Detect because it's going to pick up the chord progression of the song as well. And it's nailed this. The tempo is 80 BPM and the root key is D major. Now what we need to do is go through and make sure that the chords look right up the top here. And then we need to make sure that they're changing at the right time as well. So B minor is definitely the first chord of the song, but if it was wrong, I could right click on this block and then I could come in here and I could change the chord and fix it up and then hit save. Now have a look at where the chord changes. It changes in between these beats here. Now a problem is I can't actually make it go to that beat. What I need to do is I need to come up to the metronome and then add a subdivision 2 times. Now you can see we've got these extra subdivisions. So now I can bring that back, and now we're going to get our chords changing at the right time. And then I can just go through and tidy this up. So now let's just have a bit of fun with this. I want to try and generate some drums. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here and click Add Track. Going to go Generate AI Instrument. And so now I've got a bunch of options for different styles of drums that I can choose from. And I can also choose AI Match. This will let the AI decide what it thinks is best for the song. So I'm going to do that to start with. And if I come down here, there's a little settings tab. I can click on this and we can see creative control. This lets us have a little bit more control over what the AI generates. So conditioning strictness, how strongly to follow requested conditioning or preset, how strong you want it to follow one of these presets that you click on. The higher the value, the stronger it's going to follow it. The lower the value, the more creative freedom you give it. The context strictness is how strictly to follow your audio context. So if you really want it to follow the example that you have dropped into AI Studio very strongly, then you would turn this up. If you want to give it a little bit more creative freedom, you would leave it a little bit lower. Harmonic strictness, how strictly to follow chords, keys of your context. For drums, doesn't really matter, but on things like bass, piano, guitars, it will probably matter a little bit more to have that selected. And then we also have use project chords. Use project chords to guide the AI model to generate stems that follow your chord progression. So that's why we put the chord progression above the top there so that we can select this when we have things like a piano and it makes sure it follows the chords and the progression of the song. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit generate stem. But while we're here, I'm going to generate a couple of different styles of drums so I can decide what sounds best with my track. I think the Nashville preset sounds cool, country inspired drum pattern with a Nashville sound. Now, one thing you want to do is mute any other tracks that you don't want the AI to listen to. So anything that's unmuted up here, it's going to listen to that. It's going to use that to generate the next stem. So now that one's generating. I'm going to mute it. I'm going to try alternative, classic rock, and arena. Very clean.
I can taste the words on your lips.
That's pretty cool.
They're trying to get out. Got so many things you need to share with me, but don't know how. I can see that pain in your eye.
Very roomy.
Don't let it get you down, 'cause you know that every day the sun will rise, so lift your eyes. I don't wanna slow this down.
Not really vibing that beat.
Around. If all we have is now, come and waste some time, waste your time with me. Nobody gets you like I do.
Yeah. Arena's cool. I definitely like the Nashville and the arena vibe the most out of those. I don't really like how the Nashville drums start though. So I'm going to drag over this selection. So I can click on these three dots and press regenerate selection. Now you can see it's made a subfolder. So it's basically giving me another take here. Okay, so check this out. It's actually giving me nothing at the start this time. It's just a clean beginning. But let's say I do like the fill, maybe even just the end of the fill. Just like that. I can click on the three dots here next to this stem and hit edit. Now we've got our little editor down the bottom here. I can zoom in a bit at the start, and I know I just want to grab those last 4 hits of the fill. So what I'm going to do is highlight the section I don't want, and then I'm going to hit silence, and then hit done. Now you can save as a copy or you can replace existing. Let's save as a copy. So we've still got our original idea here, but we can mute that. And now this will be our final drum take. I much prefer that, very short, punchy intro. And so for anything that you don't like, you can go through and regenerate sections until you get something that you do like. All right, so now let's get some bass in here. Again, we're going to do AI match, electric standard, and I'm even going to do punk just for something a little bit different. Let's do a heavy stem and a trap stem. Very clicky.
I can taste the words on your lips.
That's better.
Things you need to share with me, don't know how. I can see the pain.
You got the pit going.
Let it get you down, 'cause you know that every day the sun will rise, so lift your eyes. I don't want. I'm not fooling around. If all we have is now.
Oh yeah.
Come and waste some time.
The trap bass is pretty cool. I actually think I prefer the electric standard bass the most. I think it just suits the genre the best. Okay, let's generate some guitar. I've already got an acoustic guitar in here, but something that's kind of cool about this is if I don't want this acoustic guitar that I've got in my demo, I can actually get rid of it because Moises AI is really good at doing stem splitting, and that stuff is built into AI Studio as well. So I'm going to come up to my track here, click on these three dots, separate stems. We could try auto detect. And so it's pretty much split it into guitars and other being the vocal. And I can pull these out and make them into their own tracks as well.
I can taste the words on your lips. They're trying to get out. Got so many things you need. I can see that.
Pretty cool. So now I'm going to mute my guitar and I'm going to let the AI do its own thing. So it's not listening to my guitar part anymore. It's got the bass, it's got the chord progressions, it's got the drums and the vocal. Let's see what it gives us. So again, let's go AI match. Let's open up our settings, do creative control, and let's lower everything a bit and let's see what it does. Let's give it a little bit more creative freedom here. Then we're also going to do finger picking, acoustic rhythm, and acoustic strum. We can also text prompt, or we can also upload reference material. So if you had an acoustic guitar track that you wanted to upload into this to show it what you're after, you can do that as well, and it will generate content similar to it. So I'm going to try a text prompt here as well, strumming acoustic guitar with a warm and sparkly tone.
They're trying to get out. Got so many things you need.
That's the best one so far.
Don't know how. I can see the
I like that.
Don't let it get you down, 'cause you know that every day the sun will rise to lift your.
I'm going to use a couple of these. So they work pretty well together, those two. And what I want to do is maybe just pan them off a little bit opposite to each other, create a little bit of width. It's starting to fill out now. It's starting to feel like an actual song. And maybe just lower that into the mix. So I want to try a couple more guitar parts here just to see if we can get something a little bit more interesting in there besides just chords going on at the moment. So let's go with funk, guitar solo, and rock overdrive. That's pretty fun. I can taste a bit of lead color in there, sounds pretty good. And rock overdrive, let's see how this goes. So now I'm going to generate a bunch of key sounds. So we're going to do the electric piano, lo-fi keys, strings, and violin. We're just going to get it all. We're going to blend it in and we're going to make this into a huge production. It's worth noting that this is a beta version of AI Studio and the model is actively evolving and continuing to improve. So it's only going to get better. All right. So I made a few edits, chopped a few parts out of the verses, arranged it a little bit better. So this is what I've been able to turn my demo into after a short period of time of playing around in AI Studio.
They're trying to get out. Got so many things you need to share with me, but don't know how. I can see the pain in your eyes. Don't let it get you down, 'cause you know that every day the sun will rise to lift your eyes. I don't wanna slow this down. I'm not fooling around. If all we have is now, come and waste some time, waste your time with me. Nobody gets you like I do. We don't need a sign, shooting stars in our eyes. I'd do anything on my knees, begging please just stay and waste your time with me.
That's actually pretty wild. And it's cool because it does give me a feel for what I think this song could be like. A really great thing to note about AI Studio is that if you start with one of your own ideas and build upon that, you won't face any copyright issues. You will own the music because Moises AI trains its AI exclusively on licensed and public content. Now, there's actually a couple options that I can do from here. I can just download a mix down of what I've created here, but you can also do an AI mix. So if you come over here and click on AI mixing, so this is the AI mixing, you tell it what you want as far as a sample rate, the format that you want it in, and then you can select whether you just want to export the mix or if you want the mix and the stems. And then you can tell it the style that you're going for, which will help guide the AI mixing. And then you start going through your sounds and you give it little prompts. For example, the presence of the drums. Do we want them normal? Do we want them in the background? Do we want them lead? So you can kind of tell it where you think the sounds need to be. Center panned, reverb, you could put like low reverb if you just want a little bit of reverb on the kit, or you can crank it up to medium or high. Just really depends. You got to experiment with this and see what happens. But basically you can see it's already given you what it thinks it should do. It's got AI detected. If we don't like the way it turns out, we can come back in here and tweak this a little bit more and generate a new mix. And then all you need to do is hit export AI mix. Now, as I showed you before, we can do stem splitting within AI Studio. Now, let's say these Nashville drums, I really like the sound of them, but I wanted a bit more tweakability with them. I can use the stem splitter. So we can go separate stems. I'm going to select the stems this time, and I'm going to come down to kick drums, snare drums, toms, hi-hat, cymbals, and then just hit separate stems. So you can make that kick and snare hit a little bit harder if you want. But ultimately then, again, if you download these stems, you could automate those, make them softer and louder in certain parts. You can tweak them a bit. You could trigger samples off of them. It gives you a lot more options by having the stems split out that way. Now, one last thing I will show you is that if you're creating songs and you're wanting to experiment a little bit more, you can also do voice changing in here as well. So I've got my stem split voice, and I can come up here and hit convert voice. And now I can choose one of the voice models from Moises. So there's a whole bunch here to choose from. So I've actually generated two voices. I've got Derek and I've got Amber.
If all we have is now, come on, waste some time, put your time with me.
Amber.
If I get you like I do, we don't need a sign, shooting stars with our eyes.
So there you have it, guys. That is AI Studio from Moises AI. If you found this interesting, if you're keen to try this out for yourself, if you've got some demos and some ideas that you want to muck around with, like I've just shown you here, make sure you hit that link in the description below. You can set up a free account and you can try it out for yourself. AI Studio is included in all the tiers of the Moises plans. In the free and the premium plans, you get generative credits, which you can top up once you run out. And I believe in the pro plan, you get unlimited usage. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support this channel, check out that link in the description below that heads over to my website. You can pick yourself up a drum sample pack, a mixing course, a template. Grabbing any of that is a massive support for the time that goes into making content on this channel. If you want to stick around for another video, check out this next one coming up.